Hi, it's Helen from Heritage Garden Seeds, and today we are going to be sowing our Echinacea seeds. So it's the 18th of September today, so we're still quite early into autumn, but the temperature has dropped significantly from the summer, and autumn is a great time to sow your Echinacea. And if you want to sow again, you can also sow in late winter or early spring. So really easy to grow. We're going to grow our Echinacea undercover over winter. So I'm going to use this half seed tray, so I've filled it with compost, as you can see, and Echinacea just needs to be sown on the surface of the compost. So all I've done is just lightly firmed that compost down. You could also sow into small pots or modules if you prefer. So as I say, I've got the tray full of compost. I've lightly patted it down, not too firm, but just a little bit, and then all I'm going to do is scatter those seeds on the surface of that compost. So you want to give those seeds room so that once they germinate, there is a little bit of space to grow. And I think that's about enough for me for now. So that is the sort of spacing that I have done. And then I've got some more left in the packet that I can do in spring. Now I'm just going to lightly pat those into the soil. So we're not going to cover these with compost. You can, if you want, use a little light sprinkle of vermiculite just to help keep that moisture in. But I'm just going to leave mine on the surface like this. All I'm doing is just lightly patting those seeds so that they are in contact with the soil. And then just give them a light water with a fine spray. So I'm going to pop those in a greenhouse while they germinate. Now, germination on Echinacea can be quite erratic, so do be patient. It can take a couple of weeks. Some people do like to cold stratify their seeds first by placing them into the freezer for a week or so and then sow the seeds. But because we're sowing in autumn, the nighttime temperatures are dropping. So hopefully that removes the need for cold stratification, and the weather will just take care of that for us. So like I say, I'm going to pop these in a greenhouse while they germinate, and we just need to be patient, really. And then once your seeds germinate and have developed a couple of sets of true leaves, then we can look to carefully transplant those into small pots or modules. And once we've potted them on, we will still keep those in the greenhouse over winter. We're not going to be planting the seedlings that grow from these seeds out until spring. So we're going to try and wait until the risk of frost has passed and then plant them out into their final growing positions. And then next year, when we do plant those out, we're going to plant them about 30 to 40 centimetres apart. We're going to pick a nice sunny position. And then there's not really too much that we need to do with the Echinacea once they're planted into their final positions. Obviously, we're going to keep the growing area weed-free and well-watered. And we're just going to make sure we regularly deadhead those flowers, which will just help the plant to produce more lovely flowers for us. The bees and the butterflies will thank you for that too. And Echinacea is a perennial, so it's going to keep coming back year after year. Now, our autumn sown Echinacea seeds will hopefully give us some flowers next year. If you're waiting till next year to late winter or early spring to sow your Echinacea seeds, the chances are you're going to have to wait another year to see those flowers. But I sowed Echinacea seeds last autumn and I got lots of flowers this year, which is why we are sowing our seeds now. So if you do have time, please do get your Echinacea seeds sown in autumn, and then you can enjoy some lovely pretty flowers next year. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. Either on Instagram, we are at Heritage Garden Seeds, or you can send me an email. The email address is hello@heritagegardenseeds.com.